All right, let's get going. Well, happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope everybody has been having a good week. I know, depending on how many classes you're taking, I'm sure this is a very busy and sometimes rather stressful time of the year because you could be catching up on a variety of classes and there could be a variety of finals that you're getting through. So, I do know that it can be, Joshua, yes, I know it can be kind of busy these days. So, all right. Well, I want to try to be as productive as possible today. So, as everybody knows, the prototype assignment is due today. Today was the due date, and we're going to go through that today. I think pretty sure I extended it to today. If I didn't, then we're still going to go through it today. So no matter what, you hopefully got it done, and we'll be able to review it as a class and give you feedback because this is pretty much the final. I mean, we do have one final assignment here, and it's going to be a UI kit. So I'm going to go through a basic UI kit that I'm going to provide a template for you to follow, and that'll be the final assignment due next Monday on the final class. Okay? Pretty simple. It's not difficult at all. So I don't want anybody to be stressing out over the UI kit, but I do want it to be a part of the final project. So, all right, let's see here. Another thing, I did mention that you have the opportunity to continue to resubmit assignments, but you have to notify me. Just as a reminder again, you have to notify me when you resubmit for me to be able to go back in and review it, excuse me, and be able to regrade it. So you got to let me know, and preferably this week. So I don't want a bunch of notifications Monday morning that you have resubmitted a whole bunch of assignments, and now I'm getting bombarded with a bunch of assignments the last day. That's not fair for me, just to let you know. So Friday is the last day to resubmit. Okay, write that down. Friday is the last day to resubmit. If you resubmit it on Monday, I'm just not going to do it because that wasn't fair to me. Okay. So let's see, what day is that? That's what, the 30th? Yeah, May 30th. Let me write that down. All right, May 30th, last day to resubmit. Because I'm going to double check with Bradford and Sean. I'm not quite sure because they're pretty busy, and I know they're getting ready for the big portfolio review, which is next week, which I'm also a part of. I'm going to be a reviewer and judge. So I'm waiting for them to kind of get back to me on what is the last day to submit grades, as far as, for the professors. So I don't know if it's different these days than it used to be. So I'm kind of following up on the last day for me to be able to submit grades. Let's see, last day. That's one thing. And all right, I am going to jump over and we're going to look at a couple of announcements. Let's see here. Okay, give me a second. Let me get my windows all figured out. All right, can you guys see my screen okay? Everybody see that all right? Yeah. All right, good. So let me hide this here. All right. Announcements. Let me go to student mode and announcements. Let's see. Okay. Events. Wanted to do a reminder. I just posted that earlier today. These are some upcoming events that we highly encourage you to participate in. Try to make the time for this. Like I mentioned, next week on June 6th is the City College Design Spring Show, the portfolio show. So it is open to the public at 6 p.m. So please join us June 6th at 6 p.m. for our annual spring show. You should put in portfolio show to celebrate the amazing graduates from the City College Design Portfolio class. The show will take place in the Fine Art Gallery in the AH building with a theme designed by alum Lena Guerrero. Don't know who that is. The show is open to the public, so invite your family and friends. Again, I highly encourage everybody here to prioritize this the best you can because it gives you some insight on how the class or the entire curriculum and is and how certain students are creating portfolios to kind of put out there in the public. So you kind of understand the bar that is raised and what you're working towards for this program. So highly encourage you to attend that. And plus, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people if some people you don't know, and you get to network a little bit. Uh, Also, next week on Tuesday is the spring show setup. So Bradford and Sean said that they could use help to complete the installation of the portfolio show. So we'll be working all day on a large scale mural, table setup, audio visual, and many other things. Consider stopping by to lend a hand. So if you got some free time and you want to participate and you can, that's highly encouraged because it takes a village to get ready for a portfolio show. So. And then they are having a portfolio decompression session on June 10th from 10 to 11 a.m. on Zoom. So please join for the annual portfolio decompression session, where this year's graduating portfolio class talks about their portfolio experience. This is a great opportunity to learn about the portfolio process and get practical advice directly from your peers. Again, highly encourage you to attend this. This is a place where, if you're able to attend the show, you get to see it live, and then you get to have this session where you can have some questions and also hear what other people are talking about, some of the, successes, challenges, all that good stuff, blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to get to portfolio, and the lack of sleep. I I used to always ask my students whenever they were getting through portfolio. I was like, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? And some students were like, oh, I got like 8 hours. I was like, well, then you didn't work hard enough because you really shouldn't be like literally getting ready for your portfolio. You're lucky if you should get like 4 hours of sleep. You're lucky. So, uh, again, I'm a little bit of a hard ass. I don't know. That's back in the old days, right? Sounding like an old timer, but yeah. That's what it takes to win. That's what it takes to get a job. That's what it takes to get into a college. It takes the literally going down to the finish line and putting it all out on the finish line as much as you can. All right. Another announcement. Let's see here. There have been a lot of crazy things happening in AI right now. I'm sure that most of you have just been focusing on your class and just getting through stuff and taking care of your personal life. But there have been some rather significant announcements in our technology world these days. Google has been sort of blowing things up lately. And on our last day, we may, depending on time wise, we may watch their latest keynote on all the announcements. So we can just sit back and relax and watch a keynote. But one of the biggest ones is Google VO. It is their state of the art video generation model. And they are getting a lot of buzz around this right now. So, right here, let's actually, you can just go here and you can see some of the examples. Pretty simple prompts, but they're getting a lot of recognition due to realism. But the other thing that I love that keyboard, that's hilarious. The other thing that's even more significant is not only are you able to make these videos, but then they've announced this platform called Flow. So Flow is where the next wave of storytelling happens for their text to video model. So what Flow does is works with you on being able to combine video or create video on the fly when you're creating an entire project. So let's say you're doing like a little music video. You could create all these different videos and splice them together utilizing Flow. So Flow is an AI filmmaking tool built with and for creative. So seamlessly create cinematic clips, scenes, and stories using Google's most capable generative AI model. So this, to me, is far more significant than VO. I mean, it's great and all that good stuff. They'll tell you it's the best and all that good stuff. But this is really probably the most impactful that's happening right now. So being able to splice things together and utilizing AI to be able to create longer format type of videos based off of clips. So it allows you to be more consistent. So bring your own assets or generate them in Flow, then easily manage and reference them as you start to generate clips. Seamless, an interface designed for the creative story building process from ideation to iteration. And then also when you're considering cinematic, state-of-the-art video quality made possible by Google DeepMind, most advanced tools. So yeah, it's there's a lot of cool stuff happening. So they have already a couple of people that are utilizing it and making some short films, and you can view some of these. They also partnered up with, if you're familiar, he's a pretty famous Darren Arana Aronofsky. Oh man, totally butchering his name. There, Aronof can't say his last name right.
Aronofsky.
Aronofsky. Thank you. I just said it right. Aronofsky. So Darren Aronofsky, a really great filmmaker, has done some pretty significant films. Requiem for a Dream, which is probably one of the most depressing movies out there. If you get affected by movies a lot, that don't watch that movie. That one's a pretty tough one, but it's great. Black Swan, The Whale, Mother, The Fountain. He's done a lot. So they partnered up with him, and he worked with another filmmaker or director, and they did a short film that celebrated like the birth of this director that he worked with. So it was kind of cool. So, uh, all right, that's some rather significant things happening. Uh, oh yeah, this is it right here. Here's the trailer. You probably can't hear it very well.
This was supposed to be a checkup.
C-section.
Baby's in distress.
We need help here.
You need to go.
Is my baby gonna be okay?
Do everything we can.
Am I gonna be okay? For every creature that came before you, from every storm.
So I'm not gonna. Well, it's only 40 seconds. Actually, we'll finish it. Never mind.
Something sweet.
So what makes this one significant is the film utilizes AI imagery. Whoops. So it's utilizing imagery from Flow and Vero with also real film. So it's like from what I read, this like right here, like this is shot, this is all shot. But then a lot of this other stuff, like the baby thing right here, this is AI. Like this stuff, that's floating around here. Let me just pause that for a second. Like all of this stuff is AI, which is a really great way to be able to utilize and show the power of filmmaking. In that, we kind of always go back, like the technology is there to enhance the process. Like really talented creatives are going to use it in both areas. They're going to utilize AI to enhance their process, whether it's to be more efficient or to be able to get things that they could never, like, you look at this, you can't shoot that. I mean, what's the difference between this and regular CG? There's no difference. Like, that's why I kind of laugh at people that get so upset about AI. Like, what's the difference between AI and just regular computer generated? It's computer generated no matter what. So it doesn't matter if you're using AI or you're using After Effects or something like that. It's all computer generated. So, I like to challenge people to kind of think beyond sort of their own roadblocks and to say, we've been creating things with computers that we can't shoot for years and years. So what's the difference? What's the difference between using AI technology or just the regular computer? There's really no difference. Yes, Josh.
I believe it's because people believe that computer generated, there's more effort that goes into it to get those kinds of creations done as compared to AI, which is just like, oh, you just type in what you want and bam, it's just effortlessly done.
Yeah, but that's the same argument that they said when the computer came out.
Yeah,
I mean, those were the same type of people that said, "Oh, well, you're cheating. You're using a computer instead of, you using Letraset and, mocking it up yourself." So it's the same conversation. Yeah.
I think it's always been that way. Every time there's like a new innovation done in the art realm, like the typographic press or like
The
the printer,
naysayers.
it's just generational at this point.
It is. It's always generational. And the thing is like, you know, having a healthy discussion around new technologies, to me, a healthy discussion is always based off of respect, individual respect. And so, like one person's adoption rate can be different than another person's adoption rate. And, you know, no matter what the debate is around ethical usage and things like that, like, this kind of stuff, you're looking at this type of stuff, like, what is it stealing from? Like, what is it, and that's the debate, right? Like, if you're looking at these kind of graphics, you ask yourself, like, I mean, is this stealing from somebody or is it just referencing like everything else references in life? Life references life. So I just always challenge people to kind of break through their mental roadblocks and to think about the adoption rate of technology, and that no matter what, there's always going to be new technology. And I always get excited about new technology and how people use it, because some people use it in different ways and other people don't use it, And there's still a lot of love for analog things. A lot of people still love to use non-digital cameras. A lot of people still love to use vinyl records to listen to music, right? So there's still a lot of analytical things out there, but I get excited whenever I see people utilizing, the classic and the new. I think that's a really fun way to sort of look at things. Yeah, Shaver.
I think just like those two worlds, though, it'll be like those analog worlds, or like whatever will become the new analog. That market will get smaller and smaller and more competitive. Like to be a film photographer today and to be relatively successful, not that that's what it's about,
Mhm.
but it's like that world starts to shrink and there's so much more opportunities in whatever is progressing, you know?
And man, it's like I truly sympathize with the craft of analog, traditional analog, right? Take for instance this photographer right here. Where's my? Whoops, sorry, give me 1 second here. This guy, his name is Ez. This is an article on him, Beach Breaks and Vintage Aesthetics. He's from Costa Rica. Ezekiel Rivera. He goes by Ez, and I've been following him on Instagram. I love his photography. And the reason why I love his photography is for a lot of reasons. One, it's very natural. And also, there's like this natural analog grit. It's almost like he's using some 1970s camera that actually is broken. It has a light leak, it's got a scratchy lens on it, and he talks about that in here, and that's what he does. And so you look at his style of photography, and the thing that makes his work so incredible, it's not the technology, it's the talent behind the lens. And that's what it's about. It's never about the technology. It's about the human behind the technology that makes it special. And that's what we have to remember. We have to remember this. And I just did an article on Instagram that says AI will take your job. And I based it off of kind of a mentality of, I'll pull it up here real quick. So I'm kind of quoting myself correctly. The the purpose of it is to get people to realize that the talent, the human behind the technology, behind the lens, is what makes things special and how the human connection is. And if you don't put forth that human connection, then AI will take your job. And that's the purpose of this. I go, we often talk about technology and AI taking our jobs, but the real risk is losing what makes us human. It's not just automation that threatens careers, it's the decline of genuine human connection, meaningful engagement, and the undervaluing of soft skills like empathy, communication, and appreciation. When workplaces lack trust, collaboration, and recognition, people disengage and leave, not because of AI, but because they don't feel seen or valued. The future of work belongs to those who invest in relationships, foster real engagement, and show appreciation for others. Let's not let technology replace what only humans can do: connect, inspire, and care. I really wanted to put that out there because my wife and I recently had a situation where this professional that was doing a service for us just has zero soft skills, zero human connection with her business. It's literally just like a robotic service that you're getting. And so when we started talking about it, it kind of like inspired this article that this post that I did, because I go in the long, or whenever we go to a grocery store, wherever, I don't know, we went somewhere and we both go, you know what? We go, AI could have done that. A robot could have just done what that human was sitting there doing. And that's where, like, we have to remember, yes, AI will take your job if you're literally just acting like a robot and you have zero connection, zero care, zero empathy, zero appreciation. Well, yes, a robot and AI will take your job. And that's what I think a lot of people are getting stuck on. They get stuck on sort of this idea that AI, right? Like AI is this technology. I hate it. I had literally this one friend of mine, he's a designer, I've known him for years. He sent me a message on Instagram. He goes, I fucking hate AI. I go, geez, man, like, why do you hate it so much? He's like, it's just, it's just like it's going to be the death of all of us. And he just was like so intense and like, I go, but what do you mean though? Like, what is it that you hate so much? Because it's it's no different than the computer and the internet. And he really couldn't answer it. He couldn't answer what he really was so damn mad about. And it's like we have to be careful that we don't get caught in negativity around things, and we need to focus on the positive of things. So, I just wanted to kind of bring this up because what's so important as you move through this career path of design and technology is that you're going to constantly have to adapt. This is just the beginning for you. You're going to constantly have to adapt to new technologies. It's never ending. I've had to adapt to technologies my entire career, from the end of Letraset and RubyLith to AI. You got to constantly adapt. So when I hear a seasoned designer just be so like, bruh, like so negative, I think it just says something about their personality and who they really are as a person. And in the end, AI will take his job because he's not adapting. He's not staying positive. So, kind of going back to this guy, like, yeah, I could feed this into AI and probably get something very similar. But I wouldn't want to, because what makes his work special is the human quality. It's the rawness of it. It's the naturalness of Ez's work that you could just never really truly get from regular technology. And it's like his work and his composition and all this stuff is just, it's so gorgeous, man. It's just so beautiful. And it's just real. So, uh, and then finally, the other announcement here is probably the biggest news that isn't news. You're like, what are you talking about? Well, this news that was announced only a week ago, I guarantee most people have not heard about this at all. Anybody? Has anybody heard about OpenAI and IO? See? Pretty significant that nobody's talking about this. And I think I'm not going to go down a conspiracy rabbit hole, even though my wife and I love to talk about it. You ask yourself, who mainly controls media and your platforms? Meta does, and Apple. Apple, right? Got your phone,
Can't
and
forget about Google.
Google. So you look at the big techs, Google, Apple, and Meta. Google, never mind. Listen to her. She's mad at me already. So if you ask yourself, if the big three mainly control all of the communication. I wonder why you haven't heard of this. Just saying. So, this announcement, OpenAI has joined up with Johnny Ive. Does anybody know who Johnny or Jonathan Ive is? Okay. Who has an iPhone? Raise your hand. Okay. Guess who is the designer, the main designer of the iPhone? Mr. Johnny right there. Mr. Johnny worked at Apple for probably 20 some years. And he was the head designer of the iPhone, the MacBook Pro, your earbud, whatever the heck they're called, and just about everything else that has ever been Apple. Mr. Johnny right here is responsible for it. So you wonder, you're like, whoa, I didn't know that. Now you understand the significance of why this particular announcement is got all the big three shaking in their boots right now. So just take a moment to consider that. The big three, I guarantee, are freaking the fuck out because you have the most prolific, like technical designer out there partnering up with Sam, the founder of OpenAI, and they are creating a new company to change the world of devices and AI. So, and I'll read through some of this stuff. I'll read through it pretty quick. This is an extraordinary moment. Computers are now seeing, thinking, and understanding. Despite this unprecedented capability, our experience remains shaped by traditional products and interfaces. Jonathan says legacy. I like how he used the term legacy in the video. So when we talk about traditional, he's talking about these guys. Remember how I told you at the very beginning of class, your little brick is going to go away at some point, and very soon. 2 years ago, Johnny Ive and the creative collective Love Forum quietly began collaborating with Sam Altman and the team at OpenAI. A collaboration built upon friendship, curiosity, and shared values quickly grew into ambition. Tentative ideas and explorations evolved into tangible designs. The ideas seemed important and useful. They were optimistic and hopeful. They were inspiring. They made everyone smile. They reminded us of a time when we celebrated human achievement, grateful for new tools, and helped us learn, explore, and create. I'll let you continue to read through all of this stuff. Watch the video. It's about 9 minutes and 21 seconds long. I find it very inspiring and exciting, personally. And then here's some quotes from it. AI is an incredible technology, but great tools require work at the intersection of technology, design, and understanding people and the world. No one can do this like Johnny and his team. The amount of care they put into every aspect of the process is extraordinary. So, just about all of you have an iPhone, right? You said? Can anybody tell me about the box that the iPhone comes in? Anybody? Come on. Mara, you said you had an iPhone,
Yeah, well, it comes in a box that slides.
but what's special about that?
I don't actually know what's special about it. I mean, it's nice quality, it's very luxury feeling. Besides that, I don't know.
So, if you take a moment and think about kind of subconsciously how it makes you feel, There's a lot of things that go into the overall experience that Johnny and his team thought about when it comes to the iPhone. Everything from the packaging down to the product. And he talks about that. I also have another keynote I'm going to post on here that I was listening to is really good. He talks about it. Good design. Remember what I said that Candace said that it has that quote that has lived with me my entire career. Good design wraps around. So when you take your box, your iPhone box is brand new, you take the little plastic wrapper off of it, and now you lift it up and it has this suction, right? All right, it's kind of tight, like it's like that's intentional. They did that on purpose because they want a moment of revelation. They want you to feel anticipation of revealing the iPhone in this box so it's slow. It doesn't just flap open, right? It doesn't just go flap, 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 you know? It forces you to take your time and to reveal. It does this, and then it comes out. And it does the same thing when you put it back together. That tightness is like, and it feels like quality. And these are the things that the amount of care that Johnny and his team they put into every aspect of the process is extraordinary. They think about everything. They think about good design wraps around. So what it means to use technology can change in a profound way. I hope we can bring some of the delight, wonder, and creative spirit that I first felt using an Apple computer 30 years ago, Sam Altman said. I have a growing sense that everything I've learned over the last 30 years has led me to this moment. While I am both anxious and excited about the responsibility of the substantial work ahead, I am so grateful for the opportunity to be a part of such an important collaboration. The values and vision of Sam and the team at OpenAI and IO are a rare inspiration. And finally, I am reminded of a time 3 decades ago when I immigrated to America. As a designer, I was drawn to the exhilarating and innocent optimism of Silicon Valley, to collaborate with people driven to create amazing products that elevate humanity. This is really significant. So just keep your eye and ears open for they are looking to do a big announcement next year, 2026. And there have been some product speculation already circling around there of what a certain device could be. It's a little more like this talk that it's more of a wearable. And who knows? I mean, who knows, right? There's the smart glasses that Meta have with Ray-Ban. Google has also come up with their own smart glasses. Most likely, it is probably something that is a bit more integrated. I'm sure it won't be the Neuralink though, so you won't have to put something into the back of your head. Don't get scared. I doubt it's that invasive unless you want it to be. But it's probably going to be something a lot more natural, a little more like probably something a little more like a wearable and probably a little less like away from our little bricks that we carry around with us everywhere. So, yeah, I just thought we'd take a moment to kind of pause on this because this is some really significant things that have been announced that a lot of people aren't even talking about. And this one to me, I think is rather curious that nobody's talking about this one down here. Because Google is spending a lot of money for you to focus on this part up here in the news. All right, so let's go back to here. All right. Yes, we're going to go through people's prototypes. So I am going to stop sharing. I'm going to, let's see. Great. Yeah, I saw a couple of more of an, yeah, yeah. Okay, it's why I save it. Um, I would like some volunteers.
Can I go?
Oh, hi, Minnow. Yes, you can definitely go. Let me make sure that you can share though. Give me 1 second here. Okay, you should be able to share. Also, real quick before we get into that, how was Bradford's class? Anybody? Speak up. Yeah, Joshua.
It was good. There was a lot of information in a short amount of time, like in all in 1 hour. Lots of very good techniques to help us with like the buttons, like how to taught us how to put the box to like hug around the text, so that way when we type, um, it hugs and just stays and expands on its own whenever you're typing.
Oh, good.
And also taught us how to make like our nav bar even out, like so like when we like type something, it'll space out automatically.
Good.
Auto layout. That's what he taught us.
Yeah, auto layout's very, very useful and such a powerful tool in Figma. That's great. I'm glad he touched on that. Anything else? Anybody else?
Components. He went over components with us, and showed us how those work.
Okay. Good. That's great. Yeah, that's super useful too. Isn't it sort of a breakthrough moment whenever you learn those kind of things? Like components and auto layout's a big, big breakthrough. Like when you start learning that. So I need to brush up on my skills because I need to use that stuff more. Uh, also, hopefully you were able to utilize the class last Wednesday that I could not make. We got hit by a tropical storm down in Costa Rica that was pretty darn bad. So we basically didn't have power all day long, and it was flooding everywhere. So not fun. All right. Okay. Anything else before we dive in? No? All right, Minnow. Why don't you take the stage?
Y'all can see this.
I can. Yes. Thank you.
All right, so mine is, very simple.
Yep. World.
So we have like, if I go here and click on like category, it takes me to, my shirts. Then I click back on the logo, it takes me back to the home page.
Excellent.
Let's say I want to click on this shirt, see what's up with it. It's gonna
Mhm.
take me to that product page.
Good.
And then yeah, like I said, you click back up here,
Okay.
you go here, click on cart to see what I have in my cart. I
Excellent.
have two shirts in my cart.
Good.
And fill out my info, or if I want to go back, just click on that logo and then I'll go back to the home screen.
Great.
And
Excellent.
that's simple. That's pretty
Good.
much it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Well, first of all, thank you so much for walking us through the prototyping. I have a couple of thoughts that are quick wins for you
Mhm.
that you can apply. Uh, First of all, I did notice that your main navigation changes. And so I noticed when you clicked on category from here, your whole navigation changed to new arrivals, men, women, and kids. Can you kind of walk me through your thinking behind that? Like what
Yeah.
happened to your main nav from here?
So I forgot what it was that I was looking. I think it's like Sheen or some one of the places because I looked at some places and when you went into the category, they have like okay, you click on men and then there's a drop down sale and shirts or new arrivals, and that's kind of why I did that.
Okay.
Have it change. I don't know if it's like a good thing or not, but that
Yeah,
was the reasoning behind that.
that was your thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. But just from a user's perspective, that can be one kind of jarring, and also a user can lose their path. So my recommendation, and this is a big recommendation, is you never get rid of your main navigation. It is a consistent element that is your global nav that is there all the time and it never goes anywhere because if you notice, if you do a little research on probably your favorite websites, your main navigation on those websites never change. So
Okay.
my recommendation is go to that category page. It's a really simple fix though. So
Hmm.
the new arrivals, men, women, and kids could just go down in this next area, like the next section. Like you could, so the middle section here, just stay right there.
Hmm.
Let me draw. Let me get my little tool here. Okay, so I would move that sub nav right here. Yeah, move that stuff down here and keep your main navigation up here. Don't change that.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep
And
it
then
there.
also one recommendation is, once you kind of get in, you're in a category, and then what you click on which item are you clicking on in here?
World, the logo, and then it takes you back to the home, and then you could click
So
here.
let's go back to that category page though. Why don't you add that clickable action on this guy, because I want my user flow to go from here because I went from my home page to my category page. No, so just add where I can click on this, and this takes me to the detail. So you're maintaining your user flow. Okay.
Okay.
So now go to your product detail. Okay. Great. So same thing, maintain your main navigation right there. And then add functionality to add to cart. And then what can happen is add to cart will take you to the checkout.
Okay.
So that'll help improve your prototyping. And it's real simple, like simple interaction. You've already learned how to add like, clickable actions to your stuff. I think it's just a matter of getting that user flow to be like right. Instead of going into the category, then going back to the home page, and then clicking from the home page to your product detail. And then, so you're kind of doing a lot of like clicking in a bunch of different areas that doesn't follow your user flow. And remember how that was an important aspect of the overall project is to define what your user flow is. So,
Yeah.
so that's where I want you to be able to get that user flow right so it feels natural. And
Okay.
go to your cart.
Nice. See, now I gotta go all the way.
Yeah, see how now you got to go back? You should just be able to go from your product detail to this page. And so that's just some quick wins for you, man. That's some real quick wins that you can fix some of your prototyping and some of your clickable areas to create a natural user flow that makes more sense.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Does anybody else have any feedback for Minnow? No?
I noticed that when you click in the world logo in the upper left, it does take you back to the home page, but I think it placed you like in the middle of the page. There's a setting in your prototyping that you just check a box that says reset scroll position, and it will have it so it goes to the top of
Yes.
the page.
Great. That's
Which
great
which
feedback,
page
Carl.
was that?
So when you actually add the action minnow and it gives you, like when you're clicking to add the action to the item, and it has that little pop-up window with like the different, and you have to set where it's going to go. There's
Mhm.
a little checkbox that says reset scroll position in that window. So when you go back to your actions, just keep an eye open for that. Okay. Good point, Carl. Thanks, man.
And then I had a question too.
Sure.
Are you supposed to do this for mobile as well?
Sorry, what was your question one more time?
Are you supposed to do this for the mobile version as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. Prototype is supposed to be applied to desktop and mobile.
Oh yeah, so I gotta do that then.
Yeah, yeah. That is included in the assignment. So, all right, nice work.
Thank you,
Answer
appreciate it.
looks great. Yeah, it looks great. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing. All right. Do I have another volunteer or do I start with my grid? Yosef,
I'll go.
thank you. You saved Emily from being chosen next. All right.
Can you see it?
Can you remind us how to say this designer's name?
Atelier Egare.
See, you say it way better than me. I would have never made it sound.
I was studying a little bit French, so.
Can you set your window so we can see the entire window in your settings?
Oh, you don't see the entire window?
Yeah, I can't quite see the entire design. It's getting cut off for me.
Oh, is the small bar here? How do I hide this? Oh, let me see. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Do you see it now?
Yeah, but if you go into your preview, I think there's a setting that says fit to window. Or is it? Maybe it is. Okay. It's okay. I think it's all right. Cool. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, so go
so
ahead. Sorry to.
yeah.
Okay, you
No,
go for
no, it's yeah. So I added hovering images. While you
it.
hover, it changes. I changed the design here because it was a
Very
bit
clean.
clunky.
Very clean.
Same here.
Love it.
I added video here. While you're
Ooh,
hovering, it
nice.
plays
Okay.
with the highlighting button, be
Excellent.
more readable.
Very nice.
I animated this.
Oh,
Ideally, it
get
should be
out
on
of here.
drag.
Look at that.
I wanted to make it on drag because I have a panel here that's like you drag this and it scrolls, but I couldn't figure it out, so I just animated.
That's okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to figure that out either. That looks very cool.
Highlighting button here. If I
Yeah.
click this image, it goes to the footwear, but I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Same here
Beautiful.
and here.
Uh-huh.
Goes
Gorgeous.
up. Here's the
You added a slide down, didn't you?
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I made it black, so it would be like contrast behind the
Okay.
white background.
Okay. Very cool.
You can click and it will slide down and you see
Wow.
the under categories. I
Very
can
nice.
go. I have sometimes like this error when I have to re-click it and then it works. I couldn't figure it out
Okay.
why.
I'm not sure either. So,
And then I have like 50-50 of it like go now you see it.
sure. It's okay.
I'm trying to figure it out too. You can click the images and it rotates,
Very
or you can click the arrow and it does the same.
excellent.
I changed the font here to make it more consistent.
Good. Yep.
Highlighting buttons, it goes up. You can click the card. I changed the cards. I made it more like
Ooh, beautiful.
I added the gigantic logo here.
Yeah.
You can click the buttons.
Nice.
If you click the logo, it goes back here.
Wow.
Let's see the footwear. Goes here. I want to add the filter. When you click it, it just extends here, and you can
Sure.
filter
Sure.
it out by categories.
Gorgeous.
That's it.
Wow. Impressive. Um, Joseph, just to kind of echo my original just comments. You have a very, very elegant and sophisticated overall design. You know, it looks great, and I think the functionality that you have in here is superb. So great job about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does any of your fellow classmates have any ideas, feedback, compliments? Yeah, getting a lot.
I love the type mixing that you did.
Sorry,
Thank
say
you.
that again, Carl.
The type mixing, really good font pairing.
Very good font pairing. I love the open space of the designs, like the
Yeah.
overall design. The white space is just gorgeous. It actually reminds me because I was gonna maybe bring this up. Uh, has anybody ever heard of the jump rate in design? I had never heard of the jump rate in design. If you Google it, so you can look at it right now, Josip is utilizing the jump rate very well. And it's like contrast, big contrast in things. So, you know, you look at like the big contrast, if you go up, Josip, to the top, especially in this top area, this sort of jump rate theory between the negative space and his uh like this over here in the scale of this, like this jump rate is sort of this theory that they're talking about, the jump rate in design. And Josip is utilizing that jump rate very well. I'd never heard of that term. So,
I have a question.
yeah.
So if I wanted to add this to my portfolio, do I have to change the imagery because I'm copying the other companies like stuff?
I can't necessarily speak on that. I think Sean and Bradford have certain regulations that
Hmm.
I'm gonna make this suggestion for you. Take that image,
Yeah.
feed it into OpenAI or feed it into Midjourney.
Okay.
Ask OpenAI to write a prompt in the style of that photo
Hmm.
and use that prompt in Midjourney to create your own images.
Okay. Yeah. Because ideally, I don't need like perfect images. I just need the to show, right?
The
The
style.
placeholder image. Yeah.
Yeah, you just need the style. So that's how I would do it. If I
Hmm.
was, you know, and that's how I do it. If I have an image style that I want to be able to reference, that's basically what I do. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
great. Excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have another volunteer, please?
Mario.
Was that you, Precious?
Yeah.
All right, Precious. You got the stage.
Okay.
It's court.
So, this is my home page.
Excellent. Looks great. Love what you've done.
Oh wait, sorry. I did do some,
Oh, good. Rollovers for all of those. Excellent.
yeah,
There you go. Good.
and further read more.
Excellent.
Same thing for the sign up.
Great.
If you click on shop or swap,
Goes to that. Love
you-
your AI images in there.
I did.
Oh,
So,
look at those rollovers. That looks great too. That's great interaction.
yeah.
Can you roll over those and just pause right there? Whoops. There you go. Sorry. You guys get scroll happy sometimes. Scroll down to that entire section for me so I can see. Okay, now roll over. Now do the interaction.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. My question for you
Yeah.
is why are you altering sort of the layout when you do the rollover? What's
I
your thinking behind that?
I don't know, just giving it some kind of personality, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Just I'm not saying that this is necessarily the perfect thing to do. I'm just giving you some honest feedback.
Okay.
It kind of throws me off a little bit
Okay.
personally because you're remember that talk that I did, Don't Make Me Think. You're kind of making me think about something that I don't necessarily feel like is gives value.
Okay.
And I say that because when you're rolling over, like, naturally roll over, like if you were shopping, what is sort of the purpose of the rollover? You have to ask yourself, what is the purpose of that interaction?
Mhm.
And I think it's fine to have just a simple color change,
Uh,
but to sort of change the layout, um, it kind of confuses me as a user.
okay.
So that's just my honest feedback. Say you can take it for what it's worth. If you feel strong about this, keep it. Just some basic feedback. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Keep going.
And so you click on the product
Excellent.
to the product.
Yep. Keep going.
I
Good.
just have the same
Good. Love it.
info, babe.
Oh
So,
yeah. See, here you go. Hold on just a second.
mhm.
I love the subtleness of that rollover. It's just an outline change. What if you apply that same simplicity to that previous page with rollovers?
Okay.
Instead of you doing this thing, because that's another thing, Precious, and for everybody to understand when you get into this,
Mhm.
is remember that cognitive load? I don't know if you remember that term, that cognitive load. Cognitive load is how much your brain is going to accept before it starts ignoring things. And
Okay.
so if you have a bunch of different styles of rollovers, then your cognitive load is going to fill up
Mhm.
because there's too many things. But for something like that, you kind of want to stay consistent and have like this simplicity and this consistency. My suggestion is I really like the simplicity of the rollover you have here. I would suggest you add that rollover to those cards on the previous page.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's a good one. Okay.
Okay.
And just to get nitpicky, go up where it says court ready. Can you center that basketball? You see where the tag is kind of centered in that space to the left, the great condition, but the
Yeah.
basketball isn't. It's really close to the text and really far away. It needs to be centered between the text and the left side.
Okay.
And I really love the style of your icons. Can you go to the bottom, your footer? Can you change your social icons to be in the same style as that stuff? Or just get rid of the boxes and just let the little logo be outlined?
Okay.
Because to me, it's a little obnoxious seeing all the different colors down
Okay.
there. Okay, great job. Keep going.
All right. And
Got your bag.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. You're almost game ready. I love that. Wonderful. Keep scrolling.
And that's it.
Oh, that's it. Awesome. Way to go, Precious. Thank you so much for walking through that. I already get whoops. Hey, don't close it yet. People might have some feedback for you. I gave you some quick wins to be able to apply.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any feedback for Precious? No? All right. Well, great job. Maya.
This is a small one, but I feel like at least for the website, header is kind of big. I wonder what it would look like if you put the logo on the left-hand side, since it's a taller logo.
Can you pull that up, please, Precious, so I can see what she's talking about? Maya, go ahead and repeat that, please.
Like the Kids Court Collective logo,
Uh-huh.
tucking it to the left side of the header and kind of moving the menu items over. And the logging can tuck in nicely there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I
to,
I do like the idea, especially of bringing the login down to align with the main nav because it really is kind of a part of that. Um, and also you just made me remember I was going to say this. Precious, can you match the font of login to the font of your other nav items?
Yes, I can.
Are you there, Precious?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so match the font here to match to this.
Okay.
And then maybe bring this down to align with these guys, and you can move all of this stuff over.
Okay.
And then maybe in these interior pages, yeah, the logo goes a little bit smaller or something. But yeah, Maya, that's some good suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya.
And Maya, was that also your volunteering to go next? Was that also what you were doing?
I can, but can I drop a link again just because my
Yeah.
computer? Okay.
See what you get for giving people good advice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
easy.
don't mind. You want me to share, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
it'll be for the desktop.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's see here. Let me just. Okay. And visual design, you want me to give me 1 second. Okay, I'm just going to pull it up in preview. All right. Okay, Maya, you just direct me.
Okay, I didn't get to do as much as I'd like.
Okay.
But this is a beginning for it. So I think if you hover over new on the navigation bar or click on it, it
Okay.
should have like a,
Oh, nice. I love that. Yeah, I love that overlay.
yeah. And
Excellent.
then it shows you the collection, and then there's the X. You can click that. And then if you go over, I think, find your flame, it links you to, I think that's a hover, not a click. You can start your quiz, and it tells you, like it takes 2 minutes, and if you finish it, you'll get free shipping.
Good.
And then I believe the about button as well. It gives you more information when you click it.
Mhm.
Um, just like their story, this where like the brick and mortar stores are, and then more information like FAQs, meeting the team, things like that.
Excellent. Okay.
And then I think like yeah, the cart links to the checkout page.
Yeah. Do you want me to click on that?
Sure.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's there. And then I guess the logo at the left-hand side for Looney, it brings you back to home whenever you click that. And I'm trying to think, honestly, I think that's as far as
It
I
looks like
got.
it looks like you might have missed the action
Oh,
on the click.
yeah. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah, that's as,
okay. Yeah, I remember you did these. These just look great. Your
yeah,
rollovers
it's
in your
rollovers.
videos.
Yeah,
Excellent.
those rollovers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for now.
Yeah. Again, I'll go back to like exceptional design. You also, I noticed, polished up some UI design on your buttons and things like that and made them consistent in the shape of
Mhm.
them and colors. So I do recall us making some comments around that, and you made those updates, and I think it just looks it's such a strong design. It really is.
Thank you.
Can I go to the category page? Where would that be?
If you click, I believe if you click the arrow, it should link to like
Uh,
if you just on your to the network.
sorry, click which arrow?
Like if you just press the next arrow on your keyboard, does it go
Oh,
to
gotcha.
it?
Yes, there it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Oh yeah, this looks great.
yeah. I guess I forgot. Yeah, I changed all the buttons to
Yeah.
square.
And it looks so much better to me. It really does.
Mm,
Good. Okay. And then this is your product detail.
mhm.
Solid. Great. So this just reminded me of I'm building a website for my client right now, and I have a
Mhm.
carousel, and it shows you just like here, it kind of shows you, the other items in the carousel, right? They're kind of bleeding over. And the client was like, and you have to get ready for this kind of stuff. Like this client would look at this and go, "Hey, why is the module on the far right getting cut off?"
Mm, yeah, it pissed me off a little
And
bit.
you got to be ready to tactfully explain that, and so I have to tactfully explain that, it is a preview of the next or previous one. That's why we're seeing it, is that you're seeing the preview, and that's how carousels work, sir client. So remember how they say no question is a dumb question, and it really isn't. But sometimes I laugh at myself. I kind of go, is this the first time he's ever interacted with a carousel? And it might be. It just might be. So who knows? Awesome. Great job. Really great job, Maya. Again, phenomenal job on the design. You got some good prototyping and actions in here. I think that the updates that you have made have truly enhanced the overall design and the UI consistency. So great job with that.
Thank you so much.
So, does anybody have any other feedback for Maya? Okay, great. And it it is Maya, or have I been mispronouncing your name? Is it Maya?
It's Maya.
I thought so. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'd feel like a jerk if I've been mispronouncing your name.
I would have corrected it at the beginning of
Good.
the
Thank you. You're never gonna hurt my never gonna hurt somebody's feelings about correcting them on pronunciation. Okay, excellent job. Way to go. Uh all right. Let's see here. Yep. Great job. Nice job. Got a lot of great feedback from your peers. Do I have another volunteer, please? Come on, y'all.
I can go.
Who is that?
Emily.
Emily. Oh, excellent, Emily. Okay, go for it. All right. Yeah, mediocre plans. This is, yeah, the best use of gradients ever in design history. Oh, you're on mute, Emily. Hey, Emily, you're on mute.
That's smart, I swear.
That's okay.
Uh,
There you go. Because I could tell you were saying something. So just go ahead and walk us through.
okay, so I have hoverovers on the nav bar.
Nice. I like how they have just like a little size and weight difference, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Makes it feel a little playful. Dig that. Okay.
Um, got
Okay.
a little hover on there.
Good.
Boxes change for here.
Okay, for some more hovering. Yeah.
Uh, it's all hovering, just
Okay.
because I didn't. It's clicking is done.
Yeah.
And these all change colors for the borders.
This guy changes colors.
Good.
All my buttons, like they convert to white, basically.
Uh-huh.
Um, why is that there?
Exceptional. I love the design. It's so much fun.
And then this guy.
Not sorry you're upset. No bad, yeah.
Do the dots? No, I did not do the dots.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we pause on that page real quick? I just had one thought. Go up to the top. I feel like that on the home, you have some header treatments of typography that are a little more impactful. And the one that you're using here, not so sorry you're upset notepad,
mm,
seems a little underwhelming. I feel like that maybe you could carry over one of those subheaders in that type treatment over here to make this feel a bit more consistent and fun. So consider that.
okay.
All right, next.
Check out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do these, and then it's so stupidly fun.
Oh, I love that. Look at that.
I think that's my most egregious use of
Love
gradients. Not sorry. I don't think I did anything else here. Stupid.
Great.
Other than the category page, it's just boring.
Sure. Okay. Now, if this is the category page, these link to the detail, right?
Yeah. Somehow.
So I would update the call to actions on these. They wouldn't be add to cart, or you can keep add to cart, but you would have to have another primary button that says view detail.
Yeah.
So it's either change those buttons to say view detail or add a button that says view detail. Okay.
Cool. It just goes on forever.
Wow, exceptional. Great job, Emily. Yeah, I mean, that's really my only feedback. Like overall, you have such a strong design. It is, it has such a unique presence to it. It really reinforces that tone of the brand. And like your design keeps me engaged, which is, I love it. Like, I think that's a testament to good design. Does anybody else have any feedback for Emily? No? All right. Cool. Great job, Emily. Thank you for sharing.
No.
Way to go. You got through it.
Barely.
Barely. Barely. All right. Do we have somebody else, please? Anybody? Carl, excellent. Next brave soul. Looking forward to seeing your updates.
Cool. Oh, I hope it meets. I hope your excitement is.
Well, we've already seen most of the stuff happening, so
Yeah,
I'm sure it's just improvements.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Where is? Okay,
All right.
so I'm at the home page. I can find something or I can sell something.
Excellent. You added a little texture. Did you add that recently to buy and fly?
Yeah, well, it doesn't feel like recently. It was probably close to a month ago that I did that. Yeah.
Maybe I mean, I
But
probably
yeah,
noticed it and didn't say something. I like that little subtleness of texture.
yeah, me too.
Okay.
I added drop shadows to these buttons. Somebody told me they didn't look like buttons. I disagreed with them, but I was like, well, if they see that, then other people might see it too. But
I mean, I don't mind the little drop shadow. I actually think it gives it a little more dimensionality.
Yeah.
But I would disagree with them. They were very clear buttons to me.
Thank you. I thought that too. I'm like, people are gonna try to click on that. So anyway.
Yeah, in all my button life, those were buttons,
Yeah,
obvious buttons.
I
So,
thought so
okay,
too.
excellent.
All right, so not I don't have rollovers for my product cards,
Yep.
but I have ideas for what I want to do with them.
Yep. All right.
So,
Cool.
but yeah, just similar
Even if it's an
rollovers.
image swap, right? Because there's always going to be multiple images. It could just be like an image swap
Yeah.
up there at the top. So yeah.
Well, I want my gradient to like do this kind of diagonal movement thing, but I
Oh.
can see it in my head, but I didn't have the time to, do it this time. But it's in my,
Keep
on
it
my
in your head.
to-do list, exactly. All right, our search section.
Good.
And let's say, so that's arguably the most important section because this is, people like let's say are on the road and they break a guitar string and they have a show the next night or coming up and they just open up this app specifically to come here and type
Ooh.
equipment guitar strings within 921 blah blah blah. So that this was the whole point of creating this app was for like
Right.
musicians who want to find something specific very close to them. So there are multiple ways to get to this section right here.
Well, then maybe on the home page it should be higher up on the page.
So after the hero,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
I don't mind that.
But the thing is, like, I like the grid. I like the difference between that feature and then the grid just from a visual perspective. Um,
Yeah.
so just keep it the way it is. I think from a visual perspective, it works really great because it's kind of like a nice contrast between that feature. Then you got this grid, and then you got this other feature. So it sort of breaks it up. But
Yeah.
so just keep it the way it is.
Yeah. But I mean, technically, like they come here, you click that, you go
And
straight
it
to
goes
it.
down there. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's accessible.
It is very.
All right. I've got
Okay.
the about us,
Yeah.
um, social proof,
Excellent.
um, footer.
Yep. Great.
So let's say I want to, uh, let's see, how should I get to the instrument or the category, my categories page? Okay, there it is. So if you're here, you're like, I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. I just want to look around. Then we can go,
Okay.
we can browse.
Excellent.
I added a little bit of messaging right here
Oh, good.
for our one-on-one that we had.
Good. Excellent. I'd make that stand out a little bit more. It's a little lost.
This one.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have another like text version, but yeah, I would make that stand out a little bit more.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you
Cool.
think bigger?
Yeah, whatever like your next sort of like style is, I feel like it should be treated like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
And then, oh yeah, any one of these product cards will take us to the product detail page, but I'll show us after this page here.
I like the intentional misspelling.
Yeah.
Dig it.
You can look at 4, 6, 8, 12 results at a time.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Back to like hot items, I guess. And then the footer. So if I see a product I like, I want to go check out more about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Any one of these snag buttons will also take you to the checkout
Mm-hmm.
page. Yeah, this is all. I bookmarked that website that you told me about. I'm going to customize the map at a later
Oh
time
yeah, that's great.
so
Yeah.
it matches,
Good.
better.
Okay.
The seller's items, they might not have a ton of stuff. That's why there's only 4 items here. It all depends on what they have available. Sometimes they might only have one other item. So, all right.
Can you go back to your category page real quick? I'll
Do-
go down,
Yeah,
scroll. Okay, now go to that detail. I think it's just a glitch. Go down to your grid down at the bottom. You
down
have
here.
competing prices.
Oh, look at that.
So it's
Yeah,
okay.
I just got to delete those.
Yeah, just a quick fix, no big deal. Okay,
Ah,
excellent.
okay.
Our
Um,
cart.
oh yeah, checkout. Yeah, so this page will well, okay, first things first, let's say I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting to sign anything. This is kind of a surprise. I don't know if I'm ready for all this. I can just go back to the product page.
Oh, good.
Or I can sign this and send it to the seller,
Right.
and then the seller takes it from there. Because if you're selling something, you're probably going to get more than one person who wants to buy it. So eventually you will have to pick one person to sell it to.
Right.
Um,
And again, I like your language. Your language is really on point, on brand.
yeah,
Great.
yeah, I was like, how can I sound casual but still like let them know that I don't know, this is
Trustworthy.
serious, kind of. Yeah, trustworthy.
Yep.
So yeah, those are my 4 pages.
Excellent. I think you've done an exceptional job. I like, the small updates. There's still one update that I'd like for you to consider.
Yep.
And that's the placement of your logo and your main nav. It just feels so crowded in that space up there,
Up
and it
here.
needs some
Oh,
breathing room. Like it really does. You could do a couple of things. You could use the horizontal version where guitar and hawk are all on one line, and you
yeah.
make it a bit smaller. But it definitely needs some breathing room around it.
Okay.
It's just way too tight up there.
I overlooked that, but yeah, I can see it.
Okay. And what do you feel about like the main nav font? I feel like that, like you have I really love like the font usage in your buttons and stuff. And I feel like that the font that's in the main nav is a bit underwhelming. It feels kind of like it's almost an afterthought, which is really it should be the first and foremost thing. So I like for you to kind of consider like thinking about using one of your other fonts that you're using that's a bit more, it's got more personality in it than that font.
Yeah, it looks kind of funny. I agree with you.
So yeah, and Donna says loves the texture. Yeah, there's a lot of great detail to this. So those are just some small things that I feel like visually will help make it look a little bit better.
I think so. I appreciate that.
All right, excellent work, Carl. Does anybody have any other feedback for Carl? No? All right. Thank you for sharing. All right. Do we have another volunteer? No. All right. Well, I'm gonna pick. Ooh, Joshua. Okay, you go.
So I have some unfortunate news. I was working on this project last night.
Yeah.
I made huge progress, but when I woke up today, opened up Figma, all of my progress gone.
Did you cry? I would cry.
I cried.
You
I died
should.
inside, but I was working on this just like
Well,
quickly,
look, I'm
bring it together.
so sorry for that. That is one of the worst things that.
I I found out the issue was I was doing changes in offline mode, but I didn't realize my internet just went and it just let me keep working. So I'm just like, okay, all's good. And then like,
That
what?
that has definitely happened to me where my application has crashed and there was no back in the day it used to happen a lot because you would get used to doing save
Yeah,
because we had no
saving
auto
manually.
save back in the day. So literally
Yeah,
Command S, Command S, Command S, Command S. You just got used to doing it because that has happened and made a lot of designers cry for because their application
Yeah,
you lost everything. I'm so sorry to hear about that.
it's
Oh,
okay.
so are you
I'll
still
just,
you're going to share what you got?
yeah,
Okay. Well, great. Share what you got.
let's move. Let's minimize this. It's up here.
Emily says, "Did you check the version history?"
No, I haven't.
Gotcha. I didn't know there was a version history. Learning something new every day.
Oh, geez. Well, I can't present because it'll open up on this on a
Okay.
new tab.
Well,
But
yeah, you do whatever you need to do, man. You know, if it's okay if you can't share today, that is a very reason.
it's okay. I'll just show what I have.
Okay.
So I have chroma. I changed the background image to a more like darker one that where it's actually like you can see and read the text. You don't have to
Yeah, I
think
like
so
it.
much. And it doesn't really clash with this a little bit. I
Agreed.
might do a little bit of a background blur on this just so
Okay.
you can like see the E on this a little bit because there's like some blue
Yeah,
coming in here.
yeah, you could just do or just darken it up just a tad.
Just
But
a little bit.
I don't think there's a lot of issues with readability. That's a good image.
Thank you. Yeah, and then I changed the button from green to blue. I was
I
trying
love
to
that
also
blue.
like
I think
make this so I could like hug this, but it wasn't working, so I'm just like, I'll do that later. I'll do
that's
that
a
today.
great color.
Thank you. And I'm like, I already know what you're looking for, so just down below here, and you can just type in what you're looking for. Like, oh, I'm looking for this headset, and then it'll just take you to the product immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So top categories, I'll have headsets here, keyboards, controllers, mice, mouse pads here, and then maybe some miscellaneous like gaming chairs and other stuff probably. We'll see. I have a footer here. It's still a work in progress. Quality assurance, operation within the store are sure to be of the best quality to suit your needs. Resources, replacements and refunds, support, FAQ, shop, home, catalog, deals, gift cards, cart. I'll probably change this up a little bit because I took this from my Botanica website just so I could like get something going here.
Yes, of course.
Um, I was gonna do like a category here of gaming headsets, but I didn't have enough time.
Good.
It's like, whatever. I have my product overview. This is fine. I just need to like massage this a little bit, reduce the clutter, adjust this,
Probably
and
bump
maybe
up
add
that
like,
small text size too.
yeah, small
I
text, maybe bump it up a little
yeah.
bit more.
But
Then here, this is probably fine. I'll probably add a carousel here, then add some reviews here. And this is still like unchanged because this was saved.
yep, I remember.
But I'm gonna change this button to be like a full like blue from over here.
Okay. Yeah, to be consistent with that, that would be good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, it didn't change it. Oh well.
that's okay.
But yeah, there's my plan. Uh, yeah.
Well, that's I
Yeah.
feel your pain, Joshua, and I I'm really sorry to hear that because I know what that feels like.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm screwed. All right, I'm taking this on spring 2026.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, look,
It's
keep
okay.
trucking. Again, your design is great. Consistency in those buttons, I agree. That's a good upgrade. And yeah, just kind of bumping up the body copy font probably a little bit more because it looks kind of small on mobile.
Mm-hmm. All
All right.
right, thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for sharing what you have. Okay. We got anybody else out there in volunteer land? Hmm? Okay, I'm gonna choose. Melinda, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you have, can you share it?
Yeah, I'm just finishing. I've been working on it for like 70 hours, so
Okay.
Uh,
Share what you
I
know.
I'm on like two computers, so I just need to like swap over.
Okay. Sounds good. And then I'm going to be nice and I'm going to say, Dylan, you're next. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Oh wait, I'm not sharing. Hold on. Um, okay. Um, I don't know if it's gonna load on this one. Okay, I think this is okay. So I'm okay. Um, I'm like super tired. I have like zero sleep.
Okay.
Um, okay, I'll start on the landing page.
Great. Yeah. Even if you just walk us through one, you just walk us through what you feel comfortable with and just kind of go from there.
So, oh God, how do I get rid of that? Ah, sorry. I
It's
don't
okay.
like my laptop as much. Okay. So, the interaction I've been working on is doing the reverse of the light bulb thing. So I have to like rotate all the text so that it like flips to the other color. I don't like the sticky nav like disappears for some
What
reason.
is kind of walk us through your thinking of the light bulb? What is the function, the meaning and the functionality of that?
'Cause like the brand, it's about like it's like intermixing like me time, like self-care with like mental health a little bit. So there's like complimentary playlists that just are just different style of affirmation things or different music styles so that you can really set a full like home spa experience.
Okay.
So the lights on off, I just thought was like a fun little ad for like someone to just kind of, I mean, it's a lot of extra work for probably not a lot of reaction, but I thought it
Hey,
was
I do your thing.
yeah.
I just
So,
wanted to inquire about what the meaning of that. So excellent.
um,
Thank you for walking us through that.
what am I doing? Okay, I can fit with. That would be better. Okay, so I'll just stay on black for
Okay.
now.
Totally.
I haven't gotten to the menu overlay yet.
That's okay.
Um, I literally have just done this button thing. And
Uh,
then the thing that's frustrating me is when I go down, I don't know why things layer like this. Like how it like goes over the sticky nav is like super weird. So I'm trying to troubleshoot that. But like when I click on it, it will just go to the top, like no matter where I am in the page. So
could just be a layering thing in your files.
yeah, but I also kind of feel like I'm like putting the action from like the top of the navigation to the top of the navigation. So it's like I almost want to just leave the light bulb at the top of the page and not keep it in the sticky nav, or like it'd have to like appear out of nowhere or something. I don't know. It's kind of honestly, it's turned into like a complicated, dumb idea.
Sometimes, it's always interesting to go down a path, but then knowing when to back out of the path at a certain point. So that's up to you to decide that.
Yeah, it's like because I also like want to figure out like the why and how, but it's definitely gonna, I don't, it's like I'm trying to figure out this program and like get the understanding of it, but I don't know. It's kind of like it's like you paint an ugly picture because it's like, man, I was really trying to work on this technique, but the worst I can do is just keep using this technique to get better at it, and I'm just gonna have ugly ones, and it is what it is. But anyway, so this is just the hero. Oh, God, that lined up wrong again. I have to move those things down again. That's weird because when I checked this on my other computer, the hero cut off right at that button, but now that I'm on the laptop, it's different. So I'm having a fun time with that. But anyways, these little things are just little descriptors, kind of like introducing you. I mean,
Good.
it's bad copyright, but it's introducing you to like the YouTube video series or the Instagram series about like how you can kind of either watch things or just listen to things.
Good.
And then this is just like some extra like spa like wear stuff. like clothing and whatever. But then it gets into like talking about the product, what it's made out of, and then like this is like a click to like go into like the actual product page of like the different soaks and body oils and stuff. I'm not
Sure.
too sure about the verbiage on this button.
Okay,
Um,
keep going. Yeah.
and then I just kind of had to fill in space because things were weird, so I put my little footer thing like here again.
Hmm.
And then this is again like going more into detail about the different playlists. I just have like filler text in there for now because having to make all the different graphics is like a nightmare. Um, and then this is just talking about like how they offer like packages for you to like host like a little spa thing at home, and like it's just like a way to upsell the person and like um kind of like a Tupperware effect, but not really like a pyramid scheme or anything like that. It's just like, oh, if you want to like have a different like party idea, like you can do like a foot soak thing and we can like do that for you. 'Cause some people are into that stuff.
Okay.
And then there's my footer.
Great. Well, I know that, there's always you're learning a lot. So I want to focus on the things that, first of all, that I think you're doing really, really well. I love the typography that you're choosing. Like the overall typography of your design and your color palette feels really spot on for the brand. It's elegant, it's upscale, but it's also warm and I think soothing. I think that's kind of where you're going with it. Your consistency and illustration styles are again, spot on. I think your overall layouts are working pretty good. There's always room for improvement, but just overall, I think, those are the things that are standing out for me, like your typography and your color. Those things you've done a great job with. I get it. There's always some improvements that you can do whenever it comes to layout and functionality because you're learning. And I think you've already mentioned what's obvious, so I don't need to repeat that.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
then, are we looking at mobile too?
No, we don't need to. I want to make sure everybody, as many people have their time to share. So, if you don't necessarily have functionality, like updates on functionality, then I'll have to move on to somebody else.
Okay, yeah, I just have that, and then I am a little confused at just like how many buttons need to be active. Like when you like for like oh God, the like the product page here, like if I add it to the cart, so then I want that button to then take me to the cart page.
Well, add it to cart wouldn't necessarily, I mean, if you just wanted to click to it, yes, but it wouldn't in the real world, it wouldn't take you to the cart. It would just add it to the cart. If you recall those so many of those e-commerce sites that we reviewed, add it to cart just adds it to the cart. It doesn't necessarily take you to the cart.
I mean, yes. Uh, I guess follow-up question. Do you want me to like create like an overlay thing that pops up that says it's added to the cart?
No, that's up to you. I think you should focus your time more on getting the designs and the user flow uh, fixed versus that kind of stuff.
Um, yeah, I'm just kind of lost on like how many buttons need to be active because it's like when I look at it, I'm like, well, I can't design like the entire website. That's just like, I-
Yeah, I would just focus on your quick wins, Melinda. Just you've already mentioned certain things that you already know that need to be fixed. Try to fix that stuff and keep the functionality simple. And just keep it simple.
like, are you saying like just ditch the light bulb thing?
Well, that's up to you. Like if it's adding extra time, I think that's something that as a designer, you always have to consider is what is the value? I always, I repeat that word a lot, value. What is the value of what you're doing? And if it's not adding substantial value, then you should not have it there. If this light bulb thing is adding a bunch of time and effort, but it's not adding value, then why are you doing it?
I don't know if the light bulb's really holding me up as much as having to like make so many graphics because like I
Well,
have to
what's
like
more important, adding graphics or spending time on the light bulb?
uh well, I've been spending a lot of time on the graphics and I
That's
don't
what.
know, it's just kind of hard because I feel like I kind of chose something that it's like, well, I can't really find images and I just was not having success with like generating something because I'm just like, oh, it's like a body soak. Like there's not really.
Yeah, well, those things are far more important than worrying about like, a type of functionality that doesn't necessarily add value. So I'll have to leave that up to you.
I definitely feel I'm kind of like in a very lost spot of like what direction I'm like what I'm supposed to be fixing or anything like that.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to move on to the next student because those are things that should have been addressed back in the visual design in wireframes, not necessarily in prototyping. You're asking us to solve things at this stage.
No, I'm asking like as far as like prototyping because like I rewatched the lecture a couple times and it's like okay like a menu overlay like I can finish doing that. I just wanted to finish this part before I do that real quick. But then it's like you kept saying like if there's a button, it needs to be active. Like if you design your
Not all the buttons need to be active. You have to identify what the user flow is, and that's what you've seen in some of the prior students' work. And not everybody made every button active. It's focusing on your user flow. So you make certain buttons active in your design that allow you to step through your user flow. So
okay. Like I mean, am I like missing like a user flow issue with the stuff or
I don't know. I'd have to look back at your assignment, and we don't have time to do that right now. So we're going to have to move on though, because again, I feel like that we're touching on things that are from a prior assignment that we're not here to talk about today.
when can I ever get feedback on that?
Well, you had a chance to hit me up on individual time a few classes ago. And you also have a chance to
My
see.
dad died. Like, I mean, I'm just like, excuse
Sure,
me, but like, I really am having like some
sure.
stuff
And
going on that's like kind of.
Melinda, I think we're going to have to sideline. I'm very sympathetic and understanding of anybody's loss, but I still have to be fair to everybody else, and I can't spend 20 minutes working with you
Well, you
on.
do it with other people all the time.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to have to
Yeah,
end the
we can stop.
conversation.
That's fine. Like, we don't get along. That's fine.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Okay. All right. Dylan, are you ready?
As much as I can be at the moment.
Okay, that's excellent. That's exactly what I love to hear. Thank you so much.
Let's see here. I was trying to do some of the stuff from the class that Bradford covered last week.
Oh, great.
And it kind of messed some things up a little bit, so I have to just redo those.
Sure, that's
Um,
okay.
so it looks a lot more blank than it did before. So let me zoom in here. So I was able to make components out of the menus. So all the
Awesome.
menus are the same, and I was able to do it with the footer as well, which is
Okay.
nice that that worked out. But the part that I was trying to do was like these cards, and same with the category page as well.
You
It's on
bet.
there. So those kind of got a little funky. So, but once I get the one, then I'll be able to copy and paste. It'll be fine. So you've seen this part already. I'm planning for this to be a button to go to the category page, and then this to be for the product page, this
Awesome.
view details button, because this is the one that it's focusing on.
I just,
Um,
just, I'm just going to pause again. Like, I really love the design direction that you're going through. Yeah, love the overall design of this.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
so that this is just some like general categories here, just because I thought it looked really cool. And I've seen in like other e-commerce pages, they'll have like their or like its most popular categories on their main page as well. And then this little short bio thing that I still need to do the copy for. And then these are reviews. I got the footer down here. And then for the category page, like I was talking about, they're blank at the moment because the thing was messing up. I was able to do it on the mobile side.
Sure.
I just haven't been able to do it on the like successfully do it on the desktop side yet. So I was gonna be working on that today.
Sounds good.
So we have the, the footers down here as well. I
So
do have, what's that?
Oh, keep going.
I was just gonna show you the components page.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's really zoomed in, sorry. So this is, I have it split up for desktop and mobile. So these are all the components I've made so far. These ones are still in process. So I got the menu for these, and then there's like a drop down little guy here that's on the product page.
Right.
And then a separate logo in the desktop version. So, and then on the product page, same thing. I was able to, these are components. And then this is going to be as well. Yeah, I've mostly been struggling with like photos at the moment, like trying to find the proper photos.
Understood.
That's why I'm like, you know what, I'll table that for now, and then
Yeah,
so I won't get stuck and like not make progress. But
So
that's what I got.
do you actually have some of the prototyping that we can view, or is it
Not the clickable ones yet.
not? Okay.
That part doesn't take me very long. I did it on the last project. So that one's pretty easy. So I don't like, I'm trying to focus on like the actual visual stuff first and like make sure that's down, because then once those are finished, then I can just kind of attach things together.
Yes.
Which is how I did it last time, and it made it a lot faster.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I mean, overall, just the design is still consistent. It looks great. It's very vibrant and dynamic. I think that, it continues to evolve and be a really strong brand. And overall, like, the layout and just your UI is just it's spot on. I'm looking forward to seeing the functionality and the prototyping whenever you get a chance. So, make sure that you just kind of submit that my way and I can click through that. But just overall, like, I'm really proud of this project because I think it's very unique.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, Dylan, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna call on
I'll go if no one else has
Dan.
volunteered.
Did you raise? Oh, so who was that?
I said I could go, but I can go after.
Okay. Carolyn, you want to go?
Sure. I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to jump on top of you.
No, you guys literally you did it at the same time. So
mine has work to be done, but it doesn't get any better by not sharing it. So
exactly. Thank you for saying that. Exactly. It's only going to get better by sharing it.
I'm good to hide behind the screen. So I have functionality, but I just want to ask one question.
Okay.
So I guess my struggle is, first of all, I have total ADHD. So when I listen to lectures, sometimes I have to go back because I miss it. So there's probably things that you've said that I've missed. So I'm sorry about that.
No.
Some of my frames don't seem to move properly, but my main question right here is, I think what happened is, so when I started building it, I just built it like you create your frame and you build in it. And then as you add functionality, I'm finding out that certain things to add the like scrolling have to be in a frame. Is that correct? So like this, if I want to do horizontal, like originally I would just place these images, but then if I want to do horizontal scrolling, I then have to put them in a frame when originally they were just like placed on the page.
Yeah.
So then I've placed them into a frame here, and can I move this? Yeah. And so then when I go to prototype, if I click on the frame and I've clicked on the plus, and see, that's not what I expected it to say. Let me get rid of that. So what I was doing, okay, so scroll behavior, I wanted to do horizontal scrolling.
Okay.
I think it should stay where it is, correct? Okay, so there, so it looks like
I'm just kind of following.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I understand. So what?
Personally, I've never done scrolling in prototyping.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're already
So,
ahead of me.
all right. So let me show you what happens.
Yes, I
So
would
I
love.
go, it's gone. Where'd it
Yeah.
go?
Hmm.
Does anybody know? Because I'm like trying to, I have other functionality to share. I've just been
Sure.
doing this while we've been in class. And so there's probably something I'm missing, but I could spend hours and hours. I just thought somebody might know. But I
Unfortunately,
can,
I don't. I don't know because
okay,
I've never done the scrolling in the prototyping. Has anybody
okay,
else explored that?
okay,
Shaver,
no
where
biggie.
were you? Okay,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Shaver.
It might be simple. It might just be that it's sitting outside of your of the page that it's supposed to be on over on the left. Like where you have like all your pages and stuff. Is it sitting inside the actual
Mm,
page it's supposed to be on? Does that make sense?
what
Yeah,
do you
I
mean?
know what you're saying.
So, you made it a
I,
frame and then you probably, I don't know if you copy and pasted it on there, but sometimes it doesn't copy and paste it
In
like
the page.
software
I,
wise inside the page. It
Right.
like sits on
oh,
top. So when you press play, it's
I,
not there. Yeah.
okay, I know what you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll look at that, but I can show the other functionality that
Okay.
I have. Thank you, Shiv.
Yeah,
I
let's
appreciate that.
we'll fun.
It's
Yeah,
not it's not excessive.
that's okay. Just
Um,
walk us through what you have. That's the most
okay,
important.
so if you click here and you go open the vault, it goes there. Another issue I'm having, since I'd like to show vehicle mode as well as robot mode, I have an overlay, but I think I have to cut it out and put it on a transparent background. And then like, I want to make sure it shows right on top of it.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that. Um, what else is functional? I can go to the cart, which is not done, but it does go there.
Yeah.
It goes back. So if I go here, oh shoot, this is in my way. How do I get rid of this? There's like a bar and oh, there. Okay. If you go here, it goes to open the vault. I showed you there's the roll over there. If we go here, that takes us to the product
Yeah.
page.
Oh, I love that. Look at that guy.
I was also hoping to do vertical scrolling here.
Sure.
This item qualifies for free shipping.
Great.
I was hoping to do scrolling. Oh, so there's an overlay. I'm working on that, obviously.
Of course.
Down here, I added a little like random fun game kind of thing. You pick whether you want to be an Autobot or a Decepticon or random. You pick which class, you pick which vehicle mode or whatever you want to be, and it would pop up there. It would also give you an option to buy it, which would take you to your cart page, which is obviously not done yet.
Right.
Connect would take you to a place where you could like join an email list or something like that. I'd like to put some icons here that I'll probably grab from the Noun project. I thought that had functionality to go back to home, so now we're stuck because I don't. That might be the main functionality I have at this point. Oh, I'm not in
Well,
preview.
it is
Either way.
definitely a big learning curve around
Mm-hmm.
prototyping. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's always something new that you can learn, and I know I'm learning. Personally, I'm learning stuff all the time. I've never even tried the scrolling features, so that's something that I'm going to explore. Uh, but just overall, like I continue to be excited about your design. I think that you've created something that is very dynamic and unique, and just keep kind of moving and learning on the prototyping. Again, there's just always something to learn.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Carolyn. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm. See if I can get out of here. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, I think we're going to move on to Sam then.
Hey. Oh wait, shoot. Oh no, it's still there. Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Let's see. Is it sharing?
it is. Yeah, I see Bright Night Coffee.
Okay, so this is my landing page. I have the little drop down and then my cart, which my cart isn't finished, but
It's okay.
and then this would like bring you to the categories page with all the coffees on it.
I love it.
Have a little fox. And then I did do these like pop out.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know if it looked good. I was more just like trying to
I
practice doing
love that. I
it.
think that's fun.
Okay.
Yeah. It makes it,
Then,
it just kind of like gives the page a little more like dimension.
yeah, little pop out. And
And
then I
you've
was
done
trying,
a great job with updating the design like details. I feel like it's really working.
yeah, the suggestions you made really helped.
Okay, good.
Like,
I'm glad.
and then I was trying to learn side scrolling, but I was struggling. So
Yeah.
that, and then my little footer.
Don't you feel like that the updates that you made helps the page feel more unified and it flows better?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Good.
instead of it being so blocky.
Yeah, yeah. Great job on that. All right.
All right, so then if we click on coffee, it
Oh,
brings us to the
mhm.
categories page. And then I have like a little drop down filter here. And then all the different
Okay,
coffees
good.
and different little like starter packs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then my footer. And then if you go, this one's interactive. So if you click on this one, it's the thing. And then I did like a picture of the beans. It was hard to
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that works.
one thing I couldn't figure out though is because when you have to make it like on the outside of the screen, when you scroll, it like goes over my navigation.
Oh,
So I
mhm.
don't know how to get it to like stay in the thing.
Yeah, where it's not overlapping. Okay.
Yeah. And then I have my little like extra things you can buy. And then if you click on the nav, it goes back to the home landing page.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you for walking us through that functionality. Again, like overall, I think you've made great progress, and the things that you have made updates to has really like I think elevated your overall experience and your design, and it's a very professional brand. And yeah, good job.
Thanks. It's fun prototyping. Like it's fun, like
It
it's like
is.
really frustrating, but then when you finally get it, you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It can be a lot of fun kind of getting through prototyping. And, the more that you get your design sort of in place, the easier it is to be able to do the prototyping and make it come to life. So it does make it feel like it comes to life.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you.
You betcha. Thank you. All right. Do we have anybody else? We had a couple of volunteers just now, or do I pick? All right. I'll pick. Hey, Bree, you there?
Yeah, yeah, can you hear me?
I can now. Are you ready to share?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. And we're just going to work through everybody today because we just still have a lot. If you need to take a break, just quietly take a break, like Joseph just did.
Okay, you can see it.
We can. Thank you.
Sweet. Alrighty. Cool. This is the homepage, and then I just did a couple like, oh, can you see that?
Yeah, we can.
Just some hover elements on this.
Good.
And then I started working on like this right here.
Oh, very cool.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, and then you can click here, which should take you like directly to this product.
Great.
And then I did like a little hover here, and then on these. And I think that's it for this page. But yeah, you can like click back to home on everything, and then you can click shop here, and then I didn't do all of these buttons, but I did like this one right here,
Just show a couple of them.
and then checkout. I just did just these ones right here,
Excellent.
and that's pretty much it, I think.
That's great. The one thing I think, again, overall, love your brand, love your design. It's very appropriate. I think it's very relevant to the subject and the audience. Uh, I think that what you've done is you focus on a simple user flow that makes sense, and your interactions are clean, consistent, and simple. And that's a successful like interaction Keep things simple, right? Especially in these e-commerce sites where there's the material can get very dense. There could be a lot of pages. So keeping interactions very simple is the key. So yeah, Kristen says your design is very calming. I agree. The colors and things like that
Thank
are
you.
well done. So overall, great job, Bree. Interaction, prototyping, clean, simple, intuitive. Uh, yeah, I mean, I really don't necessarily have any improvements. It's solid and on point.
Great. Thank you very much.
Does anybody else have any feedback for Bree? Any additional thoughts? No? Okay. All right. Great. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see here. Donna, do we have some dinosaurs to look at?
Donna?
I mean,
Me?
no, you don't have dinosaurs. Who's got dinosaurs?
That was
Diana.
Diane, yeah. Do
That's
you want
right.
Diane to go?
No, you go.
Oh, okay.
I just forgot. I got mixed up. It's hard to keep track of. It's hard to keep track of everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
Roar.
Yeah, so all the buttons have a hover effect, and then I ended up changing this because the one I was referencing, it features all of the options, and then this will change, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So
Sure.
I fixed that.
Great.
And then I added a scroll to top.
Excellent.
And then I added these like hover effects
Oh,
on
those are great. Yeah. Simple, clean,
Yeah.
a nice little fade.
hmm And then this one you can click into,
Okay.
then select the color, deselect the color,
Right.
and then you can just add it to bag. That's pretty much it. All of the pages link to each other. So yeah, and all of them have the scroll to top.
Gotcha. Again, I think what you just kind of walked us through is sort of the same feedback that I've given a lot of people. It's clean, it's simple, it's intuitive, it's consistent whenever it comes to your user interaction and prototyping. That's the point of kind of what we're trying to achieve. So we don't, whenever it comes to these e-commerce sites, we don't have to overcomplicate it. And I encourage everybody to always keep that in mind, whether it's with this product or any other project in the future. Especially when it comes to e-commerce sites, keep the interaction simple and consistent. Also, I just got one question on your buttons.
Yeah.
Back to your homepage. Just because. Now, is it intentional that it's not vertically centered?
It's not.
Yeah, it looks like there's more space underneath the text than above.
That was not intentional,
Okay.
but
Just
I can double check. if
yeah,
it's-
I mean, you could trick me and go, heck yeah, that's intentional.
Oh yeah, it was. Yes.
But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That was really the only thing I kind of noticed that I was like, oh, was that intentional or not? And of course it is.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any feedback for Donna? Any thoughts? No? Great.
Thank
I'd love
you.
to see the progress of this. Thank you. All right. And now let's look at some dinosaurs. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, there you
I'm
are.
here.
I'd love to see the progress of your dinosaurs.
Let me share the screen.
Excellent.
So, I, so yeah, I added the prototyping features.
Good.
So, based on the feedback from our last class, I
Okay.
changed the top navigation. I added this half circle to encompass the logo.
Good. Yeah, I can
Icons,
see that already.
icon.
That looks great.
So from here, you can scroll down, and I
Wow.
integrated this hover overlay feature.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that.
Zoom in.
Smart.
From here, you can also click the Triceratops, which will lead to the.
It's not the Triceratops, it's the Ceratops. Isn't that what you called it?
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
I like what you did here. You made that update.
In the comment section,
Yes.
I added colors
Uh-huh. Love it. Looks
and
great.
footer.
Ah, that looks great too. What a fun footer.
From here, you can press the logo, which will scroll to the top.
Okay.
Now onto the category page.
Okay.
Here, you can press the filter, opens the overlay,
Mm-hmm.
close it with the X. I also integrated the hover overlay options here.
Good.
It keeps going, scroll,
How
and
fun.
from here you can click on the product you desire, like the
Okay.
Munchoceratops here,
Okay.
and move into the product page.
Excellent.
I added the dinosaur footprints,
Yeah, I love that.
the
Fun.
description, and for prototyping, I did this vertical scroll.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Scrolling down.
So I think you're the only one that got the scrolling. You'll have to teach us all how to do that right another day.
Here you have your headline
Okay.
and related items. Here you can scroll
Get out of here. More. Look at that.
horizontally.
That looks great. Yeah, you definitely have to give all of us some tips on that. Good job on
Now moving on to the checkout page. Oops.
that. Great. Okay. Yep.
So on the checkout page, I incorporated this short mini game where you can progress through these three stages. To progress, you have to fill in your payment method and your shipping address. At
Yep.
the top, I added this overview of the three stages. And this first stage, you can look at your cart summary and
Mhm.
select your payment method. And I also added this short over hover option here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's
And
great.
to continue, just press the continue button.
Just keeps going. Awesome.
And here you have, I have the placement of the overview.
Yep.
The second stage, the shipping, where you have to fill in your shipping address and look at the icon, the hover overlay.
That's great.
And continue to the last stage. Here the icon has the
Okay.
hover overlay as well. And to confirm your purchase, you can click on the claim reward. This will direct the customer to this themed thank you page.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
From this end, you can go back to the home page by clicking on the logo.
I think, I'm going to echo, I see a lot of comments coming in. This, like, you've done a phenomenal job. Like, really, like, I mean, as far as especially prototyping wise, man, like, I'm very impressed. Like, you really did certain things that I have never even explored. Like, your rollovers have just a smoothness to them that I think are very professional. You got the scrolling thing down, which again, like, I've never even pursued. So I'm just super impressed by that. Um, so just overall, like, the prototyping is exceptional. It seems like that you might have kind of a natural talent for a lot of that stuff, Diana. So great job with that. I do have just a couple of very small things as far as the design goes that I'd like for you to consider. The logo up at the top, I would say, like, because it needs some breathing room, it's because it's even touching like the little camera thing. Maybe make the logo within your main nav a little bit smaller so it has some breathing room up at the top. And then the other place is when you get into your cart, go to your cart. Um, don't lose your main navigation. Like you need to keep your main nav throughout even your cart experience, okay?
Okay.
And that was it. I mean, for me, like you've done an exceptional job. It's just a couple of small things there that you could
All
consider.
right. Well, of course I'm gonna add that stuff in.
What was that?
Yeah, I'm gonna add your suggestions into the website.
Yeah, it'll definitely help out because you always want your certain elements to have breathing room, especially your logo. You want that to not be kind of touching or being interacted with other stuff. You want it to stand out. So great job
All
with
right. Well,
that. Does
thank you for the
anybody
feedback.
have? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you got a lot of good feedback. Does anybody have any other feedback for Diana? No? Yeah, I think we're all impressed. Amazing. Great job. All right. Let's see here. Shaver, how about you? You got something to share?
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. Sure. Can you see?
I can.
Cool.
Yeah, I see the pages kind of all linked up. We just don't see the preview yet, just to let you
Good.
know.
Alrighty. So I'm kind of hoping everything still works. I haven't been on it in a little bit, but
Yeah.
so kind of the same deal. I think the checkout, yeah, I'll wait to do that, but the checkout goes to the checkout page. And then get ready will take you, clicking this takes you to the trucker jackets page.
Okay.
So I can go and do that in a second, but I just wanted to get down here and show that I have the measurements changing from centimeters to inches.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the footer, but nothing's active on the footer right now.
That's fine.
See, I'll go up and I'll click get ready. And that takes you to the truckers page.
Yep.
And then I've got the moving.
Yeah. So you got the little scrolling thing working too.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it's kind of neat. Scroll down there. Like I said, the logo should take you back home, but a little technical interference right here.
That's all right.
Anyways,
It's got you in the comment to add comments now.
yeah, let me click. Okay, here we go.
There you go. Nice.
Well, anyways, checkout page takes you to checkout.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to show, let's see, on the product page, I have a description drop down that works.
It's very minimal.
Yeah. So down here, the description drop down for the product.
Yeah.
Boost that back up. And then the stitch it up page will also take you to that same checkout.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
And I think that's what I have, except for if you want to see the hamburger drop down.
That's okay. I'd rather just kind of focus on it. I just had
Okay.
overall, like I've just been really excited about so many like just the evolution of the work that I keep seeing is just makes me proud. This particular site itself, like your brand and the way that your layout utilizes that white space. You look at it from a bird's eye view right here.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that the white space sort of carries you through the design. and your functionality is very clean, it's intuitive, it follows a certain user path, the user flow very well. So great job with that. Um, and yeah, just like I like the way that you've integrated video in some places that make sense and add value. So overall, yeah, again, Shaver, great job. You've really made some positive like improvements to your design and functionality. So yeah, thank you. Like it's solid.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. Does anybody
Yeah.
have any feedback or any thoughts for Shaver? Hmm? Yeah, nice work. That's right. All right, Shaver, thank you for sharing.
All right, thank you.
Hmm. All right. So Mara, are you there?
Yes, I can share.
You can share? Okay, let's see what you got.
There's some construction happening in my apartment right now, so I'm sorry if any noise comes through.
That's okay. My dogs are barking their heads off while ago. I wasn't sure if you could hear it or not.
I don't think I could.
Good.
Okay.
They're being obnoxious. Who knows?
Um, so yeah, pretty just minor adjustments as last time. I was trying to do this drop down thing, but I couldn't quite figure out how to like get it to go away without just clicking on it. So
Okay.
that's one thing. I did some hovers, made the buttons all consistent. This
You got some
animation.
animation up there, right?
Oh yeah, the idea would be that I would just come down and stay instead of, go back and forth. But
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, so that's not quite
Fix that.
executed all the way, but the idea is there. Same with this one, the pasta would just come down once.
Gotcha.
Um,
Good.
and then yeah, this gets you to what occasion are you planning for, which kind of helps filter what people may be looking for. If you scroll down, there's also table accessories. So I had the rollover, I changed them to white so it's more
Great. Yeah,
visible.
see, those stand out really nice.
Yeah,
You don't miss them.
yeah. You meet the owners and then join the club. Instagram and footer. So I'll just go to the top to Let's Eat, which takes you to the occasion bundles because that's probably what most people will be looking for. But then there will be this sidebar here if you want to look at other things. And yeah, if you scroll down, you'll get like you might also like table accessories and kind of the same thing. But for now, let's do picnic bites.
Sounds good.
And yeah, there's three options here. Also another you might also like if you keep scrolling, but we'll go to snacks and spritz with the floating card. This would be like selectable and the
Right.
quantity. And that would kind of, depending on what you choose in your bundle, the price would vary.
Of course.
But these are the staples that come along with it, and then some popular add-ons,
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
some
that's
spritz and a picnic bag set, which would adjust the price up here.
right.
And then say add to cart, and then
Mhm.
it takes you to this page. And if you didn't select any additional things, it would kind of just like pop up again,
Mhm.
to suggest some other things to add on. And then yeah, checkout. And that's it.
Awesome. Great job on the functionality. Again, it helps to support the user flow and the narrative. It's clean, it's intuitive, it's consistent. It's all those things that we've been discussing that makes a good e-commerce site. So yeah, great job. I mean, overall, just love your design and love your brand. It's really on point. It's unique, and you kind of stitching everything together is really making it come to life. So I don't like go back to the homepage real quick. Besides the obvious stuff, of course, that you said you'll work on some of those animations trying to get
Yeah.
this fit. That's great. I don't really have any feedback for functionality. It's working. It's clean, intuitive, and yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Does anybody have any thoughts for Mara? No? Okay.
All right.
Great
Thank you.
job. That's right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing. All right. So, Josh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have something to share today?
Yeah, I got something for
Great.
sure. Yeah, so basically I did some little changes first
Good.
off
Yeah, based
with
off,
and with
what we
the
had seen last time.
yeah, and with the issue that you said, I I kind of did something a little unique with it,
Like
just
that. I already
right
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, that's super cool.
All right. And then I did the prototype and such, so let me just
Okay, sure. Yeah,
open
let's walk
this.
us through this prototype.
This was just mostly basic, nothing much else unique,
Well,
just
first of all,
this
like
to
big improvement on treating that main navigation area like that. Like that's a really great improvement.
yeah.
So, okay.
So I just added a hover to this,
Okay.
and then also to these two as well.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And then this one, the about us, I just added this,
Good.
and then okay, that's it. To the next page, I added these images to the catalogs,
Good.
just like that. And I actually added a clickable route to this. So
Good.
as I click it here,
Oh,
it takes
nice.
me to there.
Okay.
And then you hover over these sizes, like so, including to the art card, which then if I click it, it adds to me to the card right there.
Good.
And then yeah, that's pretty much about it for it.
That's great. Great job on the functionality and the prototyping. Again, it supports the narrative. You got a clean, intuitive user flow. The rollovers are consistent. They stand out. They support the brand. They support the UI. You've made some visual design improvements based off of last time that I think have really helped with readability and consistency. Honestly, like my main feedback is kind of similar to what I had seen on some other people's stuff. Don't lose your main nav in the checkout. You need to always have your main nav present. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then this ready for checkout. Can you go back to your previous pages? Can I look at those buttons?
Yeah.
So I notice, yeah, a lot of times, your buttons are consistent and they're red background. But when you get to your checkout, I just wanted to ask you, did you intentionally not turn those red because the information hasn't been included?
Yeah, I potentially made that not red.
Gotcha. And then also just make sure that you put the price here on the detail page. Don't forget that.
Oh, I
It
forgot that.
needs, yeah, it just needs the price. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Great. Well, again, overall, great job. Thanks for addressing those updates. I think that they have made an improvement to the design and just the overall experience. So good job there.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see here. I think there's a couple other people that haven't. So, Kristen, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm on my iPad though, because my computer's kind of acting up, so
Sure.
hopefully this will work.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll do our best and we'll just try to follow you and share what you can, okay?
All right. Mhm. Sorry, 1 second.
No, it's okay.
Can you guys see
Yeah,
that?
I can.
Okay, cool. So basically, is it gonna work? Hopefully. Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, again, just try to do your best to walk us through.
Okay, I don't know if it's actually gonna work because it's not doing much right now. But anyways, oh look at that. Okay, so if you like click on the like logo, oh my God.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I thought it was.
It worked for one thing. Okay, but basically, I am going to restart this.
Okay. Try it again.
But pretty much I haven't I'm like working on the if you can see like at the top the nav bar, I like did a sticky nav, but it's
Good.
definitely like not working how I want it to because I want it to I don't know, like on some other pages it doesn't look as noticeable.
Okay.
But anyways, so for instance, if you go like to view product on this one, it'll take you to the product page for this. Um, and let's see, I'll just like show you guys the product page real quick. But then you can go like add to box and it'll bring you to the checkout page here, which I'm honestly still like, I'm still working on some of my visual design. Like I've been tweaking it a lot. So I'm not like super sold on what I have for everything, but anyways, you get the gist.
Oh, I mean, overall, I just the overall design is exceptional. It really is. It's so
Okay, thank
neat.
you.
Uh,
Thank you.
you know, there's a couple of small little areas as far as visual design goes that, you know, we could consider, but yeah, just the overall design and the color palette and your fonts are just working very, very well. So
Thank you.
that's
I
definitely not an
yeah,
issue.
I was like really working hard on honestly the color palette was like really putting me like in a spiral. But
Oh,
if you click on like the logo at the top on the nav bar, no matter what page you're on, it will bring you back to the home page. If you click on like shop boxes here, it'll bring you to this is my like category page for the lounge box,
Yep.
which this down like in this little area, which explains the boxes, it will also bring you to the lounge box page if you click shop now under that category. If you click on this, the little box at the top in the nav bar on any page, it'll take you to the checkout page. Let's see what else. That's like kind of pretty much the gist of what I have. And then if you like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of the general idea. But I want to do some like for like hover buttons so that the buttons like invert when you hover over them too. I'm still working on that.
Well, hit up Diana.
Yeah,
Man, she's an ace at that.
yeah, I guess so.
I know, right? It's gorgeous. Well, I mean, overall, like visual design and branding, gorgeous,
Thank
very unique, really relevant to the product and the audience. Um, the prototyping and the interactions that you showed us again are support the narrative and are in they're consistent, they're intuitive. So I think you've done a great job there. I know that, you know, there's some things that you can improve on. There always are for all of us. So just continue to work on that. But I mean, I didn't really have any feedback of what to kind of change as far as prototyping goes, because again, it's simple. It supports the narrative. So
Mhm.
I think you did a good job with creating that clean, consistent interaction overall.
Okay, thank you so much.
Does anybody have any other feedback for Krista? No? Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Tersa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Do you have something to share today?
Give me 1 second.
And Ezekiel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Giving you a heads up, my friend. You're going to be next.
Alrighty.
Okay. Can you see?
Love it. Yes.
Okay. So, I'm still not super happy with my hero. I'm hoping I can have some time to still kind of vamp it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But as of right now, the checkout box goes to our checkout with our hover states. Oh no, I'm missing a button. It's probably not on the page.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you can fix it.
And then, so the shop will take us to our categories page and then all
Mhm.
of the ads. And then I also made the actual name go to the
Good.
detail pages.
Good.
And then, yeah, just kind of made all the hovers work.
Good. Good. That
And then,
looks great. Clean. Very clean.
and
Okay.
then, yeah, that's,
Excellent.
and I did it in the purple too.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Very consistent. Yeah, let's go ahead and start with our homepage here real quick. Um, Overall, great job. I think again, like the consistency and what you've done in your interactions is spot on. I like the simplicity of it. Uh, Now, just one overall question though. Can we go up to your top? What is your main nav? I'm just a little confused.
It would be search cart and then sign in for their membership.
Gotcha. So you don't actually have like products or I mean you have shop right there.
And that's what I was thinking about too. I was like, well, should I add another little icon to make like a drop down menu?
I
Or
think
is it
shop should be
just
separate
enough?
from that stuff
Okay.
because those are almost like not because if right shop is got all of your products in it, correct?
Mhm.
So yeah, that should be, like you mentioned, I think a main navigation item, and that could sit maybe over to the far left, and it could be that drop down, right? You click shop, it drops down, and it shows you all your supporting categories or whatever you feel like sits within the
Mhm.
main shop.
Yeah, I did have a little shop icon as well, but I
Okay.
don't know why last minute I just deleted it. I was like, I don't know, this looks ugly. But yeah, I do see that I was
Yep.
contemplating that too.
Sure, yeah. So that would be my suggestion is let's bring in a main shop
Okay.
kind of menu to the far left. So it maintains like its elegance and space. And that could be, like you mentioned, a type of drop down that reveals all of the shopping features that you
Mm.
have.
Yeah, perfect. And then unlike my other smart classmates, I couldn't make the scroll effect work. I
Oh,
couldn't.
and yeah, I got to look into that too. We could learn
Yeah.
a lot from
And
some.
it sucks because I don't know why I planned it like that, that I have so many scrolling objects.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was kind of disappointing.
That's all right. That's all right. You'll learn it.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Well, overall, like the visual design is great. It really supports the overall brand. You made quite a bit of updates based off of your journey of visual design, and I think it's all working. It feels very elegant, but also intuitive at the same time.
Oh, thank you so much.
So great. Awesome. Does anybody have any additional feedback for Teresa? No? All right. Well, great job. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And I think we got Mr. Ezekiel up next.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
So let me just, there we go.
Oh, yes. Love this.
So right off the bat, when you click up here, it opens up the shop by category on the homepage.
Excellent. Excellent.
So you can track your order, you can shop by whatever brand, and there's still a few languages I like to add there too, but it's just that for a while.
Okay. Easy. Very intuitive.
When you click here, it
Mhm.
opens up a quiz to determine which retro games best suit you.
Right. Excellent. Very simple, very intuitive.
Mhm. For the category page, when you click here, it opens up the filtering. So it filters it filters through franchise and through the ESRB of the video games.
Good, good. Again, very intuitive, very clean. Is Crazy Taxi a real franchise?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Taxi, that's great. Okay.
So adding functionality to the product page is still on my to-do list.
Okay.
And when you go to the checkout, if you go down here and you place your order, you get your message.
Level complete. I love that. That's really on brand.
Mhm.
Ezekiel, very good job. Very, very good job.
Thanks.
Again, like I've always been very excited about this brand and this design. I think that you have truly accomplished like something that is memorable and unique that stands out. Your functionality helps support the simplicity of the e-commerce. So, it's on point, it's intuitive, and it helps follow that user flow. So great job on that.
Thank you.
Your main navigation and the way that it comes in is very intuitive. Again, your filtering system is clean. It helps to support again, just the simplicity of the design. So great job on that.
Mhm.
And I don't know, like I mean, overall, I didn't really have any necessarily feedback that stood out to me. Did anybody else have anything that they had thoughts around for Ezekiel? Yeah, Carl.
I'm loving the nostalgia.
I know.
So I noticed, I thought I saw in one of your search panels, it blocked the view of the main nav. I thought that looked kind of strange.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh, okay. So that's not on purpose.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Great.
that's all.
Awesome. I still love your logo so much. It again, it captures that nostalgia. You did such a great job with that.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Well, again, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I think we might have. I think everybody shared. All right. Is anybody out there in class land that did not share? No. Excellent. All right. Well, look, why don't we just take a couple of minutes here? It's 3:47. Let's come back. Let's just take a quick 5-minute break, and then we're going to come back and look at the UI kit template, and I'm going to review that with you. Yeah, Carolyn.
Ow, I just stabbed myself. Do we have something to actually upload and submit for today?
I think you submit your
Is it
whatever
what we
link.
just
Yeah, your
presented
link.
today? Okay,
Yeah, the
I just
assignment.
haven't looked at the assignments. I didn't know if we were there was an actual due date today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there's definitely it either was today or it was last Wednesday, one of the two. I could be behind, but just go to the assignment and you should be able to submit a link.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You bet. All right, so let's come back here in 5 minutes. Let's just take a quick breather and we're going to go through the UI kit template, okay? Thank you, everyone. All right. Let's let's get into this here. Okay. First of all, I want to thank everyone for sharing today, no matter what stage you were at. It's always great to see progress, and I thank you. So, our last assignment helps to support all the things that we've done. So, kind of explaining a UI kit. A UI kit, we've talked about it in the past. I just want to kind of give a reminder. These type of sort of support documents or formatting can be done at different stages of where you're at. So it kind of depends on the team that you're working with and, kind of how you're moving along your overall build. So the build itself, this is more around like supporting the build of your website. So a lot of times, we would do this back in folklore. We would do this before we started finalizing overall designs. And the reason why we would do this is because it's kind of like a brand guide. You think about what the brand guide means, and then sort of what this UI guide means and UI kit. The purpose of, let's say, doing this before you do like all of the design is that the developer can go ahead and get started on these global elements. So if you already know, right? If you're going, hey, our header 1 is going to look like this, our header 2 is going to look like this, our header 3 is going to look like this, text labels are going to look like this, paragraphings are going to look like this, buttons are going to look like this, and this is our overall color palette. Well, then you could go ahead and get this done as a quick win for your development team. And then your development team can go ahead and start implementing these style sheets. So these styles that can go ahead and get in and get solid and get baked while you're developing the actual designs for the pages. So that way your developers aren't necessarily waiting around for all of the designs to be completed. Does that make sense to everyone? Yep. So that's the benefit of getting a UI kit done up front and then fleshing out all of the pages afterwards. So keep that in mind. Sometimes, though, maybe your team doesn't want this and they want this later on. Hey, that's fine too, right? It just all depends on the team that you're working with and the process. It's all about that process, right? So, depending on the process, you could do it at any time. But the benefit of having these done up front for your developers, to me, I've always found that there's a benefit of doing this first before you flesh out all of your designs for your pages. Okay. So this is all I'm requiring for this assignment. It's not that difficult, but it's good to have it in there for your portfolio. So here's the template I'm going to send everybody. Just do not edit this template. Just make a duplicate like you've done in the past. And just create your own. Now, this is the bare minimum. If you want to do more, do more. But at least outline these items. So as a header, you need to define what your main header is, your header 1. And then you kind of go down. So I'm kind of thinking about you right now, Carl, just because you have a lot of dynamic text and dynamic headers. So yours is very graphic. So, you're going to have to come in here and you're going to have to like consider like how you're treating certain headers and how it's going to apply to this UI kit. Okay. And don't feel like that you have to necessarily follow this exact layout. If you need this thing to be bigger, make it bigger. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? Because let's say Carl, I'm just again using Carl as an example. Your header one might be really big, right? Because it's very graphic. So just, take your design, if make a duplicate and just, make it bigger if you need more space. You're not bound to the size of this basic template to do your UI kit. Does that make sense to everyone? Raise your hand if it doesn't make sense. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Good. So again, you're not bound by the size of this template. All I'm saying is the requirements are just define what these are. What is your header one? What is your header two? What is your header three? If you have like text labels, and then definitely define what like your paragraph or body copy is. So I'll even kind of update this right here. So paragraph, or I'll go body copy, right? Same thing here. I'll just update that body because it can be, so body copy / paragraph. And then define what, your buttons. So you may have just one button style, but some of you, I saw multiple button styles. So you're going to need to define that. You're going to need to define primary button, secondary button. If that applies to you. And then define the colors that you're using. So that's pretty much based off of like your brand guide, which is it's going to be very consistent, right? So just help kind of down here remind us as far as your colors. So if your background, Carl, you have a very like strong background colors. Let's see here. Emily, you have a lot of gradients going on. So you're going to have to define, like, when it comes to like background gradients, you're going to have to define those in your colors, okay? And you have quite a few of them, so you're going to have to define those in your UI kit.
Oh, the regrets.
What? Oh, you're regretting it now? But that makes sense, right, Emily?
Yeah.
So, I've seen a lot of very detailed dynamic design. I'm just focusing on the bare minimum for this assignment. But again, some of you do have a lot more in your designs that you're going to have to add to. So again, to kind of reiterate, if you have multiple button styles, you need to define what your primary button is versus a secondary button, or if you even have a tertiary button. So I'm gonna show you here real quick. Sorry, when you have your I'm gonna stop sharing this because I'm gonna show you something here that's a little similar in Squarespace. So Squarespace kind of has their, like for this site right here that I'm building now. What they do is they have sort of their UI kit built into here, over here under Paintbrush. So they call it site styles, but this is basically your UI kit for like this particular project. So they call it a theme. You can click in here and you can change the theme, but really when it comes down to having a very detailed sort of UI kit, I can click on fonts and then see how it outlines all of these things that are very similar to what we just saw in the template. I have headers. I have a header 1, a header 2, a header 3, and a header 4. They give you up to 4 different variations for headers in Squarespace. Paragraphs. They give you up to 3 variations of paragraph styles. So I have 3 different variations in Squarespace. Yeah, Minnow.
Yeah, for those, do we have to do you want us to keep it H1 or you want us to actually put actual words in there? Or how do you want us to do it?
So for the Figma, what we have for the basics, it's called H1 heading, or you could call it header. So,
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter as far as the vernacular because I know it all means the same thing. It just sort of depends on what you use. But you see here in Squarespace, they say heading, they use
Mm-hmm.
the verbiage heading, but you could say heading or header. But when you're looking, this is common terminology. You could say heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, or you could call it H1 heading, H1, which is just an abbreviation for the heading 1.
Okay. And then do you want our actual typefaces that we use as well?
Yes, that's the whole purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, you
All
have to
right.
show it in that UI kit, the exact style of what your heading 1 would look like.
Okay. Well,
Good
that
question.
was it. Yeah, that was pretty much. Make sure I had that right.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So again, same thing, you kind of look at like what Squarespace does here. You click on buttons here, and it shows the 3 button types. They give you 3 button types here. You have a primary button, a secondary button, and a tertiary button. So if you have 3 different button types, like I mentioned, you need to spell those out in your UI kit. Primary button, secondary button, tertiary button, if you have that many. So I'm going to jump back over to Figma. All right. So I think this one is rather straightforward, but if it's not, Mano, did you raise your hand again?
Nah, I didn't put it down. My bad.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing you. So I feel like this one's pretty straightforward. It really is a continuation of what you've done as far as prototyping, because the prototyping, right, helps sort of apply to this because a lot of you did button rollovers. So that's what would apply here. Your rollover, your hover or rollover, you need to outline that here for a button. All right. Well, that covers this assignment. I'm going to post this template and create the assignment. Yeah, Minna.
Another question, because a lot of my teachers, like this week is like the last week. Do we have class Monday when this is due?
Yeah, I'm expecting to have class for sure.
Okay. I was just
Yeah.
making sure because
Mhm.
a lot of us are done this week.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and because I'm such a hard ass, I'm gonna make you come to class because I want
Okay.
you to be better.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you Monday then.
Yes, we're still going to have class. I mean, it is the last day. So I do know that, yes, some teachers don't necessarily have that, but to me, it's still an opportunity. And I look at it as an opportunity to learn.
Okay.
Emily, yes.
Just a question about grades. If we haven't received a grade for an assignment, we should email you.
Yeah, for sure. But I know that there are some of the recent assignments that no, I have not graded yet. So I am aware of that. But I have been up to date on, I would say, I think I've gotten into at least the first two assignments for this project, which is e-commerce.
Okay.
But no, I have not completed grading yet, not for this project yet. So I'm definitely aware of that.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you, and I appreciate you being patient. I know we've gone over just a little bit, but I will post this, and I wish everybody the best, and I look forward to our last day. I can't imagine the last day being the full class. It'll probably be a little shorter. I just want us to be able to have an opportunity to spend the last day together and use it as a learning experience. Okay. Have a great week. Thank you.